In this video, I want to speak about the GBP USD because at the moment we do have quite interesting price action and structure. Now, starting here from the monthly time frame, what we can see is that at the moment we have a market which is currently testing and rejecting to the downside a quite strong area of previous monthly support, which was acting as support all across the zone, which at the moment the market is currently testing as resistance. And as we're testing this area, we have already seen the start of our rejection to the downside. Now, if we consider this a new impulse, then this potential correction we have to measure it by taking our Fibonacci from the low to the high of the impulse. And if we do that, that gives us a potential downside target to this 0.32 as a rejection, before then potentially getting more bullish continuation. But at least we would like to see a rejection that tests this level. Going down on the weekly time frame, what do we have? Now here on the weekly, we have a market which at the moment is testing a quite strong area of previous weekly support. In fact, from here, all this move to the upside was created, which is now currently acting as resistance. Now, before we continue with our analysis, going down on the daily time frame, now what we can see here is that is exactly what has been going on. We had a long-term weakness, however, short-term strength. Now, this potential short-term strength could make here the market create a potential break above this resistance level. However, if we go down on the daily, we can notice how the situation is actually pretty clear. We have a market which at the moment is range bound. At the top, we have this resistance, and at the bottom, we have this support here. In fact, if we look more closely, we can see how from here, this is the second rejection. From the bottom, this is already the third rejection if the market was supposed to go and test this level, meaning that at the moment we clearly have a bounded market in between this resistance and support. Now, if the market here will create a rejection to the upside, at that point this previous resistance would become support here. If it breaks to the downside, at that point this previous support would become resistance. So in a situation like this, if the market breaks either to the upside or to the downside, that is where we would have quite interesting probability to see if we actually are getting a strengthening of the pound or a weakening of the pound, which, as we have already said, also means that we're looking already at GBP USD, not only GBP. So if the market here will reject to the upside or to the downside, how we could be approaching this potential situation. Now, as usual, trading is reactive and not predictive. The monthly, weekly, and daily, those are the best time frames from a directional perspective. However, when it comes to confirmations and entries, the best time frames are the intraday time frames, so 4 hour and lower. Therefore, what we could be doing, potentially also with students, is monitoring price action during this move to the downside or during this move to the upside from an intraday perspective, waiting for the market to shift from an intraday bearish or bullish market to an intraday bullish or bearish market, depending on the two situations, and to potentially provide to us one of our valid entries. At that point, we could be looking in this case for a move to the upside, and in this case, for a move to the downside. Now, if you enjoyed this free analysis education and update, make sure to drop a like and a comment. It really does support the creation of more free analysis education and updates for all of you, and I will see you in my next breakdown.